Hello everyone, this is Chase the channel. My name is Kirill and we talk about watches here. I plan to shoot today's review much earlier as both models were released back in October 2023. However, we've had the grey version for quite some time now, but the black version arrived just a few days ago and I immediately recorded a video on both because these are the new premium rectangles GMW-B5000, which you can of course purchase at our store chasterclub.com. Links will be in the description. Both models are in front of us and you immediately realize that in the dark at certain angles this dial will appear dark. This is indeed the case, not just on camera, but in real life. But in the light, it reflects blue and green, various shades. The case itself hasn't changed. It's exactly the same as the previous steel rectangles. Let's start with this version, where there's no coating, just polishing and satin finishing. Everything is well familiar to us. Beautiful. Let's take another look at it. The back cover is also steel, but black, with information about its Japanese origin, by the way. And of course about the G-Shock reliability. All of this, as always, is shock resistant and waterproof. Plus, I remind you, inside there is a steel capsule for additional protection. Plus, inside there is alpha gel. And as for the black case, here we have a special ion coating. It's reliable, it doesn't just come off easily. This is probably an option for careful people who don't bump their watches against corners or tables. Well, that's definitely not me. But look how stylish it is. Look, right? This is like a premium version of my, perhaps, G-Shock. Also a red stripe. The design is completely the same. Of course, the display changed to an inverted one, but nevertheless, if I, for example, wanted a more premium G-Shock in the same style, then probably something like this is what I would need to purchase. And of course, these colors, multi-gradation. The series was released in October 2023, and 4 excellent versions, rich in colorful accents on the dials, delighted us. But many don't like the inverted display, so we'll put the black one aside for now, and I'll demonstrate the functionality on the version with the regular white display. To me, it looks more practical, but still less stylish. The style of the black one is on the next level, in my opinion. World time. Here we can choose 5 cities. This is really for traveling people. Alarms. 4 regular, 1 with time shifting. The sound is standard, and a stopwatch and timer up to 24 hours. Stopwatch with 0.01 second precision, so you can also do sports in them, measuring precise intervals. I remind you that there is also Bluetooth synchronization with the smartphone here. And of course, you can set all those alarms and timers as conveniently as possible, plus configure reminders. And you can also set up phone search. In general, everything we are already used to seeing in such rectangular steel G-Shocks. Let me remind you that we've had several of them in reviews, different colors, different finishes. And overall, the GMW-B5000 series already has almost 30 models, which speaks to the high popularity of these watches. So the backlight, no surprises here either. Smooth turn on, smooth dimming. This is the version with the white dial. And by the way, don't forget there's also auto backlight here, so you can set it to turn on when tilted. The black version. Let's look at them. What about the backlight here? Everything also turns on and dims smoothly, but the screen is inverted. So in the dark it behaves a little differently, but readability remains excellent. Model on the wrist. And look, why isn't this a replacement for mine? The style is the same, but the premium quality is visible to the naked eye. Of course, the level is different now. The dimensions remain modest, The case height is 49.3 millimeters, width 43.2 millimeters, thickness 13 millimeters, and the bracelet here is made with quite a bit of extra length, almost 22 centimeters. The links are elongated, the clasp is branded. Total weight is 167 grams. It's clear that the rectangular design has proven itself over the years as sporty, possibly street style. An example of this is the brick-like design around the dial. But online there are also photos of it paired with business attire, shirts and jackets. Yes, maybe not super strict, but something like casual. And actually the combination is quite harmonious. In any case, everything is at your discretion. But the foundation is of course sports and everyday use. Finally, I'd like to note that the GMW-B5000 and 500 has expanded to such a wide range of options for good reason. After all, the series represents a combination of time-tested design, reliability and quality. Cool Japanese models. And as an owner of a similar model, I can't help but be pleased with the release of new colors. The color scheme turned out really well here. Blue-green, a blue-green frame around the dial, and a red line on the black version. I like this one more, it looks stylish. The white is more practical, but in any case, everything is, as always, at a high level. Functionality, Bluetooth, waterproof, shockproof, cool finish. What else do you need from such everyday sport watches? And perhaps, by the way, someone was confused by the boxes at the beginning of the video. I can clarify that there are G-Shock watches in such boxes, and sometimes in these. This is purely the Japanese market. Yes, sometimes we get models that are sold exclusively for Japan, for the domestic market, but more often there are these gray-black ones that go to other markets. Asian, European, and so on. As for the other rectangles, our store chasterclub.com also offers a wide range, including these two colorful versions, as always, at the most pleasant prices. Finally, I'd like to know your opinion on these models. Which one did you like more? Be sure to write about it in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That's all. Goodbye, everyone.